what do you normally look for in an investment?
Yeah, of course. I think this is pretty commonplace, but the first and foremost, management. And it's, ideally there's breadth and depth in management. What I mean by that is there are kind of a number of members of management who make up a really good complete team rather than kind of heavily focused on one individual. But often in early stage companies, the goal, the task that I'm set is to build that team out around maybe one or two founders. Mm-hmm. So it's key to finding these high quality, capable, hungry entrepreneurs. And I describe an investment relationship as like a marriage, and a bit extreme, but ultimately, you are becoming partners for the life of that business, or at least for the life of that investor's investment. And the way that investors work and the terms and conditions, I guess, they come with mean that you have to work together. It's not just take some money and off you go, or it rarely is that. It's a real partnership, so you've got to get into the relationship with the right people. So you've got to be able to work with them, and then so if people are talking to private equity venture capital, encourage them to meet a few houses and find that fit. You keep hearing me say the words fit. It's really true, particularly with management. And then outside of that, it's the usual other things. So great market, great industry or sector where we think there's going to be some good, strong growth, and where the product or service or innovation that the company has come up with can carve out a real strong dominant position. Even better if that product or service is defensible or has IP or patents around it, but not essential. Sometimes it's just really good execution and first to market, and sometimes that is what can be the real engine for growth. And I guess on that kind of analogy of an engine, what my favorite thing to say to potential investee companies is kind of prove to me your sales engine, or the engine of the business, i.e. if we put inputs in, cash, marketing leads, or whatever it is, what do you do? How do you do it that generates X for a return? Mm-hmm. And therefore I can start to build an investment case around, okay, if I continue to do X, then this machine might turn it into Y. And if we get smart with the machine and find a few optimizations, then perhaps we turn it into something even better than that. And then the final thing is just a good deal. And that sounds really basic, but because it's this partnership and because there's risk involved for both parties, we need to feel, and the entrepreneur needs to feel like it's a fair deal from a valuation perspective, and from what that investment looks like if everyone goes and delivers the plan and works together. And that's the final piece of the kind of recipe. There's a lot of things that hang underneath that make something look like a good business, but they're the key things.
So I completely agree. I'm negotiating a deal with basically two companies. One's in the Far East, one's a massive corporation. And I'm just trying to see how we could kind of work together. But what's interesting is that I always try and put myself in both parties' shoes, because I'm independent, so I can kind of do that. Because if the deal falls down on anything for either party, you're dead in the water. So it's almost saying, although one party might want this, if they're never going to accept it, you're just constantly trying to iterate and find. And I think it is about just building trust with people, that if things go wrong, which they inherently do, actually do you believe in their vision, the values? Are they honest? That kind of thing.